for 4.5, almost 5 years, and then got the job at Tarrant County, man. So
So what was your you was at when you were at Arlington? What was your position there?
so when I was at UNT, I was overseeing the non-traditional and transfer student services, no, non-traditional and commuter student services. UTA, I was doing transfer student services for the entire campus.
Oh wow.
Yeah, bro, that was a job,
Because UT Arlington UTA is like super growing though too, so that's like ridiculous amount of people. I'm assuming.
Oh man, you talking about like almost, saying 45. Well, at that time when I was there, it was like almost 40,000 students, man, and like um 45, or I want to say, yeah, about 45, 50%, man, were transfers. Maybe even more than that. I can't remember the right statistics, because we're talking about 2010, 11. So,
Dang,
no,
that's a
2000,
lot of people
yeah,
though.
2012. So,
Dang, why they programs ain't better than what they are considering they got all them students.
man,
But you know what? It's probably UT Austin hating like, look, you ain't getting no money down there. We don't want y'all being not competitive at all in this state. We saw it
yeah,
happen with Houston.
yeah, I mean, the thing about it is, man, you got to think like the Metroplex has so many schools. I mean, that's one thing I love about the Metroplex being down here is like you have so many options when it comes to jobs, because there's so many schools in there. I mean, you're talking about, you have Tarrant County Community College, then you got Dallas County Community College, then you got Collin County, then you got North Texas Community College. Those are just community colleges. Then you got UNT, then you got UNT Dallas, then you got, you know what I'm saying, University of North Texas at Dallas, then you got UTA, then you got the Health Science Center, and then you got TCU, SMU. So I mean, you talking about, at the loan, man, 12 to 15 higher
Different schools.
education, yeah, higher education programs, man. So
Dang, like that's a lot. That's a lot. So you end up
so
you so you end
everybody,
up
everybody competing for resources.
so you get to Tarrant County, like that's a junior college. That's a whole different thing people understand when it comes to the students. Like most people think college student, oh yeah, the tradition the stereotypical kid that's partying and kicking it and they on campus in the dorms and all that. Junior college, unless you are a athlete at one of those Kansas Coffeeville or Missouri Moberly or one of those top end junior colleges for sports, you're not having really much dorm life or anything like that, or anything that would resemble a normal college experience.
Right. No, you're right, man. And so, of course, now they've moved away, so they don't really like the term junior college. So if you say junior college out there, man, just don't even mention it. Just say
Okay, so it's
community
community
college.
college, right?
Yeah,
Community
yeah, you
college,
guys
right?
say community college. But yeah, man, I mean, the student is different. I mean, you hit the nail on the head. The student is different because they come to the community college for so many different needs. One of the things that I took for granted coming into this role was the community aspect. Like you go to, you're working at a four-year institution, like you collaborate with maybe, what I'm saying, some other people in student affairs or maybe some academics, but you're not necessarily out in the community. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
but at the community college, bro, like you got to be interacting with different departments, people that work across different campuses, and you got to be in tune with the surrounding community. You know what I'm saying?
Dang.
So then you got students that are coming in from these different communities that, hey, I just want to come here because my job requires that I got to get this certain certification so I can get this position. So I'm here to just take 3 classes to get this certification. And then you got people, man, that just say, hey, I just want to try some classes. So I want to take some, community engagement type of classes where I can get a certificate, and then that certificate I can put on my resume to say I've gotten diversity training or something along those lines, man. So I mean, you have so many students that are coming here for so many different needs, and then you have to try to figure out, okay, how do I best service this student, man? And so it's been a wonderful ride. And the thing I love about the community college is you just have so many different options of ways to support students, and then you get a chance to have your hand in so many different things. I mean, like you can, like I've been put on a project, man, where I'm working on helping build a structure of one of the other campuses. I mean, like, at a 4-year institution, man, like they're not gonna put somebody to work on that type of stuff. And especially when you don't have no experience, but it's like they need certain people to be and serve on these different committees, man. And so you get to sit in and learn and absorb so much wise words of wisdom, man. You get to be at the table. You know what I'm saying? Be at the table, which is key to have those conversations. And so it's been good, man.
So yeah, so how is the student that is at a community college, and like what are the struggles that you have to go through, particularly not not having recidivism with them leaving?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's one of them. I mean, a lot of the students come there, take certain classes, maybe a semester, 2 semesters, and they're out. So the consistency of the student is not really there. Like, they're there from like maybe 2 years at the most. You get those 2 years, sometimes 2.5, 3 years, depending on the students there part time. But really, man, when we're talking about the community college student, particularly at Tarrant County College, I mean, we're talking about an older student. We're not talking about your typical 18, 19-year-old. Now, they do exist, but we're talking about maybe somebody 23, 24 years of age that's coming back to school. And so they have a little bit different focus. And so, like, yes, I probably should get involved and get connected with that program. However, I got these 2 kids over here I got to feed, or I got this mom that I got to take care of, or I got a full-time job that, what I'm saying, is pulling me away to I have to take these calls and different things of that nature. And so I can't really give much time to really get involved on campus. Or, if I want to get involved on campus, then it's got to be something that's worth my time. So it's got to be something that's building towards, my pathway to my goals. And so you have to have these conversations. So students come into our office, and, my staff, one of the things is they engage conversation, and we do assessment with those students. And then based upon the things that they're kind of interested in, we say, okay, well, based upon a conversation, we suggest that you should attend, some financial literacy workshops, or, we should think you should join, this particular student organization because you want to work in nursing. And so, man, we have to really advise them and kind of give them kind of a center of focus, because they're, like I said, they're only here for you only have a small window with them, man. And so you have to grab them, but then you have to also adhere to what it is that they are really desiring and really want from their experience. But you have some of them, they're like, yo, I want to be involved with everything because I want to get a college experience. And so
But y'all don't have any sports teams, right? Or do y'all have a sports team?
no. Now, some community colleges do. I mean, like you said, there are some community colleges, man, that play Division II, I think Division II basketball, or compete for Division II basketball, maybe. And then you have, some community colleges that have intramurals that actually compete at the national level.
Y'all have none of that. Y'all have no intramurals or no nothing.
Yeah, we don't have none of that. Now, we do have some campuses that have spaces dedicated towards like basketball, football, soccer, different things like that. But in terms of having an actual office that focuses on that, nah.
Yeah, it's interesting, man, because I was just like, yo, this dude Dantrayl is out here. Yeah, y'all gotta stop me. I call him Trail. What I'm saying? Dantrayl is official.
Yeah. That's the official name, man.
Yeah, that's what we make the students call him. You make your students call you Dantrayl or Trill?
Right. On the streets, man, they know me as Trill.
You make your students call you Dantrayl?
Yeah, they do, man. Well, they call me Dr. D, man. So everybody calls me Dr. D.
Okay. Yeah. So with that, what is, give us some stories of students. I know I don't know if you could tell the one story to one student, man, that was the airman. I know you can't, but man, it's so interesting, his journey. But then the I guess I wouldn't say the lesson in it of like, yo, stick in it, but he didn't stick in it. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to get into the details, but like kind of get people like not the nitty gritties, but like this journey from what to this, and like how you were still basically being mentored to him, even though he was already at a 4-year university.
Yeah, man, it's crazy because first off, a lot of the students, and we're talking about specifically black men, a lot of the black men that come to the community college have never, I won't say they have never, but they've never been arm's length next to a black man who has a doctorate degree. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Like they see him on TV, or they may see him, you know what I'm saying, when somebody says, oh, well, this guy's a doctor, and they're like, oh, okay. But somebody who walks up in an office, man, and it's funny, man. I was laughing with a student when we were actually on campus, and one of the black guys, he came in, he's like, you're a doctor? You have a doctorate? And I was like, yeah. He's like, man, but you're so cool. Like you don't talk like a doctor. And I was like, shit, how am I supposed to talk? You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
what do you,
He's like, man, but
I'm from North Memphis.
right. He said, you use our language. You know what I'm saying? Like you be cursing and stuff. I'm like, well, hell, man.